युहुन्तः प्रविश्यमो वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः विहिप्तिश्चापि व्रता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. 32. ज्वालोग्रः सकलावरातिभयदः क्ष्वेलः कथं वा त्वया दृष्टः किञ्चकरे धृतः करतले किं पक्वजम्बूफलम् जिह्वायां निहितश्च सिद्धघुटिका वाकण्ठदेशे भृताः किन्ते नीलमणिर्विभूषणमयं शम्भो महात्मन् वद नालं वा सकृदेव देव भवतः सेवानतिर्वानुतिः पूजा वा स्मरणं कथाश्रवणमप्यालोकनं मादृशाम् स्वामिन्नस्थिरदेवतानुसरणायासेन किं लभ्यते का वा मुक्तिरितः कुतो भवति चेत् किं प्रार्थनीयं तदा किं ब्रूमस्तव साहसं पशुपते कस्यास्ति शम्भो भवद्धैर्यं चेदृशमात्मनस्थितिर्यं चान्यैः कथं लभ्यते भस्यद्देवगणं त्रसन्मुनिगणं नश्यत्प्रपञ्चं लयम् पश्यन् निर्भय एक एव विहरत्यानन्दसान्द्रो भवान् योगक्षेमधुरन्धरस्य सकलः श्रेयः प्रदोद्योगिनः दृष्टाः दृष्टमतोपदेशकृतिनः बाह्यान्तरव्यापिनः सर्वज्ञस्य दयाकरस्य भवतः किं वेदितव्यं मया शम्भो त्वं परमान्तरङ्ग इति मे चित्ते स्मराम्यन्वहम् भक्तो भक्तिगुणावृते मुदमृता पूर्णे प्रसन्ने मनः कुम्भे साम्ब तवाङ्घ्रिपल्लवयुगं संस्थाप्य संवित्फलम् सत्वं मन्त्रमुदीरयन् निजशरीरागारशुद्धिं वहन् पुण्याहं प्रकटीकरोमि रुचिरम् कल्याणमापादयन्. So verse 36, which we just now completed, basically describes a new kind of a punyahavachanam. This punyahavachanam is a ritual that is done wherein some mantras are chanted, and the effect of those mantras are supposed to be transferred into the water, and then the water is considered as a purifying agent. So we just sprinkle the water all around after the kriti, and we also take prashanam of the water. Now here he is just similarly he is describing bhakti guna vrite. So bhakti is the guna. So a lot of slesha, so we find. So in this verse as well as in the coming verses we will see. So from verse 36, so we find a series of verses having slesha alankara. So these words that have been employed have double meaning, and in one sense you can see this as by suitably clubbing the words and interpreting them, you can think of as a punyaha vachana. So gunavrita, guna refers to virtues. Guna also refers to rope. Okay. Several meanings, but here we have to take two meanings. So bhakti gunavrite means so tightly wound by bhakti. So bhakti rupa rajuna avrite ghate in the case of punyaha vachana. So similarly you can see all other words interpreted, and punyaham prakati karomi. So he says, so through this act I am doing a punyaha vachana for you. Punyaham prakati karomi ruchiram kalyanam apadayan. So agara refers to, I told you, griham. Okay. So shariragara shuddhim vahan. So by this punyaha vachana, so normally this punyaha vachana is done whenever there is an ashubhat kriya, or if you want to make the place sanctified for a certain purpose. So here the place which is going to be sanctified is the sharira itself. Nija shariragara shuddhim vahan. Okay, now we take up 37. Amnayam buddhimadarena, amnayam buddhimadarena, amnayam buddhimadarena, sumanas sanghas samudyanmanaha, sumanas sanghas samudyanmanaha, sumanas sanghas samudyanmanaha, manthanam dridha bhakti rajju sahitam, manthanam dridha bhakti rajju sahitam, manthanam dridha bhakti rajju sahitam, krutva mathitva tataha, krutva mathitva tataha, krutva mathitva tataha, somam kalpatarum,
somam kalpatarum, somam kalpatarum,
suparvasurabhim,
suparvasurabhim,
suparvasurabhim, chintaamanim dhimatam, chintaamanim dhimatam, chintaamanim dhimatam, nityananda sudham, nityananda sudham, nityananda sudham, nirantara rama saubhagyamatannvate, nirantara rama saubhagyamatannvate, nirantara rama saubhagyamatannvate. Amnayam buddhim adarena sumanas sanghaha, sumanas sanghaha. So shobhanam manaha yesham te sumanasaha. This is how the word is understood. This sumanasaha is used to refer to vidvamsaha. Okay. Those whose minds are purified by the knowledge that they have acquired. So vidushaha sumanasaha. This is one thing. The other thing is even devatas are referred by the word sumanasaha because So they have this compassion and this bless, okay, the human beings with various resources, and therefore they are also called as Sumanasaha. So Sumanasanghaha refers to a group of either devatas or a group of individuals who are highly learned people, okay, wise people. Sumanasanghaha, what do they do? So Sumanasanghaha Amnayam Buddhim Adarena. Amnaya refers to Veda. In fact, we have this nice verse, no? Amnayana mayogena vidyam prashithilam. Am Ramayana. So this Sita's face is described that it is sort of fainted. It's not having the glow. So there he is describing, Valmiki says, Amnayana mayogena vidyam prashithilam. Her face looks, okay, charmless. Just like Amnayana mayogena. If the Vedas are not repeated periodically, then they will not be remembered by this fellow. Okay, in a assembly he cannot just quickly recall. Okay? In those days particularly, say nowadays everyone has mobile. So this so these pandits have mobile and then they chant Vedas. So this is the problem. Anyway, even the Sangeetakaras, no? So earlier they will not have the stits, bits, etc. So they used to remember the song and then they will sing. So nowadays they keep some iPad in front of them. Anyway, so this Amnayana Ayogena, Amnaya means Veda. So Amnayanam Ayogena there means by non-repetition. That is why we have the Kriya called Brahma Yajna. Every day one has to spend some time recalling what he has learnt. So if it is not done, Prasithila. So similarly, Sita's face was like that. Okay. Amnayam Buddhim. Ambudhi is ocean. Amnayam Buddhim Adarena Sumanasanghaha. See, Sumanasanghaha. So those learned people. So they just keep thinking repeatedly. So what is the essence of this Vedas? So they started the process of churning. Ambudhim Adarena. Adarena means with great care. Amnayam Buddhim Adarena Sumanasanghaha Mathitva. That is where the Kriya is. Amnayam Buddhim Mathitva. Mathitva means having churned. Having churned the ocean of Vedas. So these Pandits having churned the ocean of Vedas, so where is the churning rod? What is the churning rod? So there he says, Samudyanmanaha Manthanam. Manthanam refers to the churning rod. Samudyanmanaha Manthanam. So this mind itself is employed as the churning rod. So the mind is employed as the churning rod. Samudyanmanaha is another phrase that is used. Samudyanmanaha. Samudyanmanaha means, so rising. Samudyat literally means that which is rising. Okay. So Samudyat Chandrama, when you say rising moon. So Samudyanmanaha means, so here the mind is rising. Okay. So with a clear mind. Instead of a mind which is sinking. Okay. So they use the mind which is fresh, rising, and then they try to analyze what is the essence of this. So to bring out the essence, he has used this imagery, mathanam. So through the mathana, the churning rod in the form of mind, so churning the Veda in the form of ocean, mano manthanam. And there, dridha bhakti rajju sahitam. Dridha bhakti. So dridha refers to, in one sense, it is unflinching devotion. In another sense, it is a very strong rod. Okay? So otherwise this will slip. So you try to, the manthanam, that will lift up. This manaha has that quality. So tying the mind through a strong rope. Okay? Dridha bhakti rajju sahitam krutva. Okay? This mathanam, okay, the rod. So the churning rod has been tightly wound. Okay? Through devotion, having done that, tataha. So you just start churning. The process has started. So here, what Bhagavad Pada has in his mind is the churning that happened earlier, which we find the description in the Puranas. There, so many things came out. So what are the things that came out? Moon came out. Kalpataru came out. So various things came out. Surabhi came out. Hala came out, which was anyway described before. So many things came out of the churning of the Milky Ocean. So the phrases that have been employed here, so immediately make us think of the earlier churning that is described in the Puranas and the kind of churning that should happen as a Vidwan here. So the entities that emerge also have similar meaning. So two important words that are to be noted here is Sumanas Sanghaha and Somam. The third quarter has the first word Somam. The Somam refers to moon in one case. In another case, it will refer to Parameshwara. Understand? Somaha Chandraha in one case. Somaha Umaya Saha Vartate iti Somaha. So that refers to Parameshwara. Okay. Sobam Kalpatarum Suvarva Surabhim Chintamanim Dhimatam Nityananda Sudham Nirantararama Saubhagyamatannvate. So he is listing a few things which emerged out of that churning of the Milky Ocean. So all the things listed are all familiar. This Kalpataru, Suparva Surabhi, Chintamani. So all the three entities that are listed here are supposed to be wish-yielding things. So anything that you want will be given by that. So Kalpataru is used to refer to, in fact, Kalpalata, Kalpataru, both are used. Okay. So Kalpalata, Kalpataru. Ka Kalpalata Loke. I told you, Prashnottara Ratnamalika. You remember? See, Ka Kalpalata Loke. This is the question. The answer is Satchishyaya Arpita Vidya. Understand? Satchishyaya Arpita Vidya. So Satchishyaya Arpita Vidya. So Vidya which has been transmitted to a Satchishya. So that is Kalpalata. Satchishya is something which is described there in the Vidya Sukta, right? What is that? Nama Jagama Gopayamam Shevadhishte Namasmi
Asuyakaya Nrjaveyataya Namam Bruya Nidhipaya Nidhipaya.
Namam Bruya. See, Asuyakaya Anrijave Ayataya. So this means you should not transmit vidya to an asuyaka. Unriju. Riju means a straightforward person. Ayataye, one who is not willing to work hard. Okay, understand? Asuyakaya, Anrijave, Ayataya, Namambruya. See, Viryavati Tathasyam. See, only those who are straightforward, who are keen to learn, who are diligent, have to be taught. So this is something which is there. I mean, there are so many other things there. So we will skip that. So here, Kalpalata is Kalpataru, Suparvasurabhihi. This is Kamadhenu. Okay. The Suparva, see, Suparvana Sumanasaha there is a phrase in the Koshas somewhere. So Suparvana Sumanasaha refers to that heavenly cow. So Suparva in that sense you can take. The other thing that you can take for Suparva is something which is so very beautiful. Okay. Surabhi, Kamadhenu, which is very beautiful. See. Parva basically refers to a certain division. Okay. Parva means a certain division. That is why we have in Mahabharata, all things are called Parva. Okay. Adi Parva. So there are certain sections. Sections are also called as Parva. In fact, there is a verse which is worth knowing. There is a puzzle. This is where the Parva comes, I tell you. So the puzzle is, so I will give you 1/4 of a verse. You have to describe 4 things through that. This is the puzzle. Okay. So I will give you 1/4 of a verse. Padamekam pradasyami. Okay. I'll tell you. Bharatanchekshu khandancha. Bharatanchekshu khandancha. Bharatanchekshu khandancha. Sindhuminduncha varnaya. Sindhuminduncha varnaya. Sindhuminduncha varnaya. Padamekam pradasyami.
Padamekam pradasyami.
Padamekam pradasyami. The puzzle ends here, question ends here. The answer is the 4th quarter. Saraf parvani parvani.
Saraf
Parvani parvani. Saraf parvani parvani. What does he say? Bharatancha ikshukhandancha sindhum induncha varnaya. So you have to describe all the 4 things. What for? Bharata. Ikshukhanda. See, we had this Makara Sankranti for which we have Ikshu. So Ikshukhanda. Sindhum means Samudra. Indum means moon. All the 4 have to be described in 1/4 of the verse. Padamekam pradasyami. This fellow immediately says, Saraf parvani parvani. So there is essence in every parva. Understand? Mahabharata, there is essence in every parva. Right? So Ikshukhanda also essence in every parva. That division is called parva there. That is why I said Suparva means, see, a beautifully divided cow. Okay. Appropriate proportions, etc. So then Ikshukhanda, Sindhu, Samudra. See, Samudra also, after Parva, refers to basically the new moon and full moon days. Okay. So Parvakala refers to that. Okay. So Samudra also comes up during this Parvakala. And of course, moon. So every full moon, see, Saraha. Okay. Saraf Parvani Parvani. So this is how it is. A puzzle, a nice verse. Okay. Suparvasurabhim. Suparvasurabhim. See, Kamadhenu, which is having very beautiful shape. Chintamanim. So there is basically a jump, which is shielding jump. Dhimatam Nityananda Sudham. So Dhimatam, Dhimatam, so Dhiman means the one who has buddhi. Okay. So in fact it refers to a wise man. Okay. So only some students can be called as Dhimanta, not all. Okay. So Dhimantaha. Okay. So like Dhanavan. Okay. So the beggar also some dhanam. So we cannot call, right? So similarly, Dhimatam Nityananda Sudham Nirantarama Saubhagyam Atanvate. So here he basically says, so you understand now. So one process which one should be reminded of here is the churning that took place. And when the Devas were churning the ocean, as these entities emerged out, so Dhimatam Nityananda Sudham Nirantarama Saubhagyam. So Dhimatam also, see, buddhi, so mata means ishtam. See, dhiyaha ishtam is another meaning that you can give to this dhiyaha ishtam, in which case you can use the word dhimatam to refer to Nityananda Sudham. What is desired by our buddhi is Nityananda. What is sought after by the human being is basically the buddhi, right? Seeks after something. So mata means ishtam. Okay. Mata means ishtam. Okay. So dhimatam Nityananda Sudham. See, buddhehe yat paramam ishtam. Okay. Tat Nityananda. So that nectar is something which is coming out. Nityananda Sudham. And then Nirantara Rama Saubhagyam. Rama is to be understood as wealth. Rama means wealth. Nirantara Rama means something which is perennial in the sense of permanent. The permanent wealth is only moksha, not any other Rama. Okay. So that particular auspicious entity which is a permanent wealth, Atanvate, means it is something which is given. Okay. So there, by churning the ocean, they obtained all these things. Okay. So their Dhimatam means their Dhiyaha Ishtam. So basically that Sudha, what they were seeking for is also Sudha. Understand? And that Sudha will give them sort of permanent happiness in a way, because they will become Amrita. Apam, Asomam, Amrita, Abhuma. Okay. So this Nityananda Sudham, okay, so can be interpreted both for the Devas. Okay. And here the nectar is to be understood in a metaphorical sense. Okay. So once you have this Parameshvara himself, in the second sense, Somam in one sense is mere moon. So as the Devas obtained these things, similarly wise people, by churning the ocean, that is why we have no Bhajagovindam, 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 Mudhamate. So this bhakti is something which will help us in gaining this jnana. Okay, so the devotion, it is for that purpose Bhagavad Pada is saying this. In fact, there is a, I think this is one of the often quoted Tirukkural, okay, by Thiruvalluvar. Kathadanal ayapayan enkol Val Arivan Natral Torar Yenin. Okay, so this is a Kural. What does it mean? Kathadanal ayapayan yen means what is it that you have gained as the essence of the education that you have received? Payan means, okay, the purpose. Kathadanal aya payan yen means what is it? What is it that you have gained unless you engage with devotion? Val adivan natral tholar enin means, so Val adivan refers to Ishvara here. So if you do not develop devotion towards Ishvara, what is the purpose that is being served by Vidya? See, it is in that sense. So here he is saying, Amnayam buddhim adarena, by carefully analyzing this. Amnayam buddhim adarena sumanas sanghaha samudyan mano manthanam dridhabhakti rajju sahitam krutva mathitva tataha somam kalpatarum. So here what you have to understand is all other adjectives will be describing Soma. Soma is Umaya saha vidyate Parameshwaraha. So once you have Parameshwara in your heart, okay, once you have Parameshwara in your heart, then you have Kalpataru Sadrisha. He is Kalpataru. So other way, this all should be understood as qualifying him. Kalpataru Sadrishaha. Saha Suparva Surabhi Sadrishaha. Chintamani Sadrishaha. And Dhimatam Nityananda Sudham. Dhimatam Nityananda Sudham. Dhiyaha Ishtam. So Nityanandam. See, he is like that. Nirantararama Saubhagyam. And once you have him, so you have Nirantararama Saubhagyam. Okay, so that is what this verse says. Read. Amnayam buddhimadarena sumanas sanghas samudyan mano manthanam dridha bhakti rajju sahitam krutva mathitva tataha somam kalpataram suparva surabhim Chintāmanim dhīmatāṁ nityananda sudhāṁ nirantararama saubhagyamatanvate Prakpunyācala margadarshita sudhamurtihi Margadarshita Sudhamurtihi Margadarshita Sudhamurtihi Prasanna Shivaha Prasanna Shivaha Prasanna Shivaha Somas Sadguna Sevitaha Somas Sadguna Sevitaha Somas Sadguna Sevitaha Mrigadharah Purnastamo Mochakaha Mrigadharah Purnastamo Mochakaha Mrigadharah Purnastamo Mochakaha Chetah Pushkara Lakshito Bhavati Chet Chetah Pushkara Lakshito Bhavati Chet Chetah Pushkara Lakshito Bhavati Chet Ananda Patho Nidhihi Ananda Patho Nidhihi Ananda Patho Nidhihi Pragalbhyena Vijrimbhate Sumanasam
Pragalbhyena
Vijrimbhate Sumanasam Pragalbhyena Vijrimbhate Sumanasam Vrittistada Jayate Vrittistada Jayate Vrittistada Jayate. This is again a very beautiful verse. Here the word Somaha, Sadguna Sevitaha. Sadgana Sevitaha. So both can be used. So here, Prak Punyachala Margadarishita Sudha Murti Prasanna Shivaha Somas Sadguna Sevitaha Sadgana Sevitaha. Both parts are okay, we can. Mrigadhara Purnastamo Mochakaha. See here again, so in the previous verse, he had this word Somaha. Somaha there it meant Chandramaha as well as Parameshwaraha. So reminding himself of the same thing, Bhagavad Pada perhaps has a very, very beautiful description here. So wherein he describes Parameshwara in such terms where you will also see those terms describing the rise of the moon. You will see Prak Punyachala Margadarishita Sudha Murtihi. So Punyachala refers to the mountain of good deeds that you have done in one sense. In another sense, you have to just take as, see, we have various achalas named. Okay, one achala should be simply taken as Punyachala. Prak Punyachala, the word Prak again has two meanings here. One is east, the other is Purva. See? So Purva Punyanam Nichayena. Okay, so is one meaning that you have to take. The other meaning is, so the mountain which is there in the eastern part. Okay, Prak Punyachala. This is the first part of the first phrase. Then Margadarishita Sudha Murtihi. Sudha Murtihi. So he is one of the, there is a famous person called Sudha Murti. So anyway, Sudha Murtihi means, so Sudha is nectar, Murtihi is an embodiment. Moon is described as Sudha Murtihi. Okay. So Marga Darishita means, Marga refers to the path. Tena Darishita. So imagine that one wants to describe the rising moon in the eastern horizon. So then this phrase will absolutely fit that. Somaha. Okay. Prak Punyachala Margadarishita Sudha Murtihi refers to the moon which is rising in the eastern part of the horizon, where you see the moon. See, this is something which you will be able to see. I have enjoyed this both sunrise and moonrise. So in Rishikesh, Dayananda Ashram. So it is actually facing the east. There is a so you will see the sun rising in the early morning. If you happen to be there in the Purnima, then you will see the moon rising. Okay, Prak Punyachala Margadarishita. It will be so beautiful sight. Punyachala Margadarishita. See, Marga means along those lines you just see. Darishita Sudha Murtihi. So with various punyas, so you are able to see this Parameshwara. So this is one meaning. So in the eastern part you see the moon is another meaning. The other phrases that you find here, Prasannaha. Prasannaha means something which is pleasing. So the other meaning is Tushtaha. Understand? Prasannaha. Swachhaha also refers to Prasannaha. This Swachhata, if it is there, then Prasannata will be there in the face. So if the mind is pure, then the face will be Prasanna. See? So Prasannaha. Then Shivaha. So Shivaha means, so Anandadayakaha. So moon, in one sense you can call it as Anandadayakaha. In another sense you can take it as, see, Sukharupaha. Okay. So Shivaha Mangalakaraha Sukharupaha. Shivaha Somaha. Somaha means moon, Somaha means Parameshwara. So Prak Punyachala Marga Darishita Sudha Murti Prasanna Shiva Somaha. Then Sadguna Sevitaha. So Sadguna Sevitaha or Sadgana Sevitaha. Okay. So if you want to use Gana, so one can describe Parameshwara as Sadgana Sevitaha. We can just take this Patha here in this print is Sadgana Sevitaha. So if you just take Sadgana Sevitaha, so this Shiva is someone who has various ganas around him, Sevitaha. In the case of moon, you can just take it as various stars. Okay. So Sevitaha, Sadgana Sevitaha. Then Mrigadharaha. So this is common to both. Okay. Mrigadharaha, Parameshwara carries a Dharatiti Dharaha, Mrigasya Dharaha, Mrigadharaha. So one is metaphorical usage, which is Shashanka. The other is Mrigadharaha. Okay, Parameshwara. Purnaha. Purnaha also refers to the moon as well as Parameshwara. So in the case of moon, so how do you say it is Purnaha? So Kala increases, and when it comes to Purnima, Shodashakala Abhihi Purnaha. Purnaha refers to full moon. Okay. So in the case of Parameshwara, you can say he is Purnaha Sarvavyapi. Okay. Sadgunaif Purnaha Sarvavyapi, whichever way you want, you can see. Somaha Sadguna Sevito Mrigadharaha Purnaha Tamo Mochakaha. So Stamaha in the case of Chandra, you have to take it as darkness. Andhakarasya Mochakaha. Okay. So in the case of Parameshwara, you have to take Ajnanasya Mochakaha. Jnanam Maheshwara Dichet Purnastamo Mochakaha. Then we have Chetah Pushkara Lakshito Bhavati Chet. So this is where this Chet comes. If at all he is rising in Chetah Pushkara. The word Pushkara has various meanings. Pushkara can refer to flower, Pushkara can refer to pond. So here Pushkara can even refers to Akasha. Pushnati, I mean from that, so they derive this word. Chetah Pushkara Lakshitaha. So Lakshitaha means if he has been made as the target of our mind. Okay, or if he is noted to be there in the space of the Hridaya. Chetah Pushkare Lakshitaha Yedi Bhavati. Understand? So if you just take Pushkara simply as a space or a pond, so if this Chetaha, okay, possesses him, okay, Chetah Pushkara Lakshito Bhavati Chet, then what happens? Ananda Patho Nidhi Pragalbhyena Vijrumbhate. So we know this is a physical phenomenon that would have been noticed by many of you. On this day of Purnima or even Amavasya, you will find, see the ocean tides rising up. Okay, so this is because of a certain gravitational interaction that happens. So here he is saying Ananda Patho Nidhihi. So this Patho Nidhihi refers to ocean. So as when the moon rises, so this Ananda Patho Nidhi, there Patho Nidhihi rises. Okay. So here Ananda Patho Nidhihi, the Ananda Samudra, Pragalbhyena Vijrumbhate means, Vijrumbhate means spreads. Okay, spreads in great amount. Pragalbhyena Vijrumbhate. Then what happens? He says, Sumanasam vrittistada jayate. Sumanasam vrittihi tada jayate here refers to, so one can refer the vrittihi of Sumanasaha. Sumanasaha means, so here one should just take it as Sthira Prajna. So if Parameshwara is residing here, then he will become Sumanaha. Okay. So Nadveshti. So nothing. Okay. So Shubha Shubha Parityagi. Because for him, he will just take everything as Prasada of Ishvara. Okay. So that is what he means. Sumanasam Vrittihi. Vrittihi can refer to this Cheto Vrittihi. And this Cheto Vritti is responsible for the other Vritti. Vritti means how he conducts himself. Okay. So it is the Cheto Vritti which makes this person conduct in a particular way. So there he is saying, if this were to happen, if Parameshwara were to be taken in your heart, then your vritti will be like that of Sumanasaha. See, Shobhanam Manaha Eshante Te Sumanasaha. So that is how we have to understand this word. Sumanasam vrittistada jayate. Read. Prakpunyachalamārgadarshita-sudha murtif prasanna shivaha somas sadganasevita mrigadharaha purnastamo mochakaha chetah pushkaralakshido bhavati chet ananda patho nidhihi Pragalphyena vijrambhate sumanasam vrittistada jayate. In fact, see, so as I see him, I am just reminded, this Meghaduta, Meghaduta has, this Pushkara refers to a kind of mountain also. You remember? Pushkarakhya. See? Dhuma Jyoti. Somewhere Jatam Vamshe Bhavana Vidite Pushkaravartakanam. See, the Pushkara has various meanings. Okay. Pushkaravartakanam is what he uses. Okay, Sumanasam Vrittis Tada Jayati. Okay, next verse. Dharmo me Chaturanghrikaha.
Dharmo me
Chaturanghrikaha. Dharmo me chaturanghrikaha sucharitah papam vinashangatam sucharitah papam vinashangatam sucharitah papam vinashangatam kamakrodhamadadayo vigalitaha kamakrodhamadadayo vigalitaha Kamakrodhamadadayo vigalitaha Kalasukha vishkritaha Kalasukha vishkritaha Kalasukha vishkritaha. In the text, I think this danda is missing. Jnanananda mahaushadhihi Jnananandamahaushadhihi Jnananandamahaushadhihi Suphalita Kaivalyanathe Sada Suphalita Kaivalyanathe Sada Suphalita Kaivalyanathe Sada Manye Manasa Pundari Kanagare Manye Manasa Pundari Kanagare Manye Manasa Pundari Kanagare Rajavatam se sthite Rajavatam se sthite Rajavatam se sthite Dharmo me chaturanghrikaha. So here again we find this Shlesha. See, Rajavatamse sthite. See, so this has to be understood as the word avatamsa has two meanings. Generally, it is used to refer to the Shirobhushana. The ornament which adorns the head is avatamsa. So here, Rajavatamse. So Raja is a word which is used to refer to normally king, and it is also used to refer to Chandra. Okay. So Chandraha Raja. Anyway, so here this Rajavatamse means, so it can refer to a Shrestha Raja, or it can refer to the one who has Chandra as his Shirobhushana, Parameshwara. Okay. So Rajavatamse sthite. See, so here, so this is the last 3-4 verses you see. So he has used words which have a double length on them. Okay. Now, Manasa Pundarika Nagare Rajavatamse sthite. In the previous verse also he was saying, right? Chetah Pushkara Lakshito Bhavati Ched. Similarly here, Manasa Pundarika Nagare. In my heart. Okay. So Pundarika is referring to normally lotus, white lotus. Manasa Pundarika Nagare. In the city, in the form of my own Hridaya Pundarika. So there are a few things which are listed in the first 3 quarters of the verse. Dharmo me chaturanghrikaha. If he were to reside. Who were to reside? Rajavatamse sthite. If Parameshwara were to reside in my Hridaya Pundarika, then what will happen? So here again, so what one has to understand is, if a good king, so Rajavatamse sthite means if a good king were to be there, then all these things will be satisfied. Okay. So you see, Dharmo me chaturanghrikaha. Dharma chaturanghrikaha means it will have 4 legs. So we have this description in the Puranas that Dharma is there in all 4 legs in Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. It is there in 1 leg. That is what they say. So Dharmo me chaturanghrikaha, me dharmaha chaturanghrikaha bhavet. If a good king were to rule, then dharma will be established. Sucharitaha, sucharitaha. So means, so it is well observed is one meaning that one can say. Okay. So which will drive into good characters is another meaning that one can take. Sucharitaha. Okay. Papam vinashangatam. So the negative things will go away from the mind, and thereby you will engage only in good deeds, good thoughts. Therefore, no papa is accrued. Papam vinashangatam. So, papam vinashangatam, we have to understand that papa can go temporarily, and papa can go once and for all if the vasana is gone. So, that is why dharmo me chaturanghrika sucharitaha, if it is there, if you practice some good things, okay, if your habit becomes that, then once and for all it is gone. Okay. Papam vinashangatam kama krodha madadayo vigalitaha. So all these shed ripavaha, kama krodha lobha moha mada matsarya vigalitaha. So they are all perished. Okay. Then kala sukha vishkritaha. Kalaha sukha vishkritaha. How? Why is he using plural? So it refers to the various small time units. You can think of day, week, month, years. All of them are kala. Okay. So kalaha sukha vishkritaha. And the poet says, it is not that this time that you have will be only good times. Sometimes they use this way, good times. Okay. So good times na, all your time will be good times. Okay. It's not that one particular day or one particular week. There are some people who have good time only for a few hours. Some people have good time for weeks. See, some people have good time all the time. Okay. So here he says all the time will be good time for you. Kala sukha vishkritaha jnanananda mahaushadhihi suphalita. Jnanananda mahaushadhihi suphalita. So this oshadhi is referring to a certain kind of plant. Okay. And the plant here is Jnanananda. Jnananandamaya oshadhihi suphalita means it will be yielding fruits. Jnanananda mahaushadhi suphalita kaivalyanathe sada. When will this happen? If Parameshwara is lodged into your mind once and for all. Okay. Kaivalyanathe Parameshware Sada Pundarika Nagare Sthite. Understand? Sada is permanently. Manye Manasa Pundarika Nagare. Manye Manasa. See, this is Manya is generally respectable. Okay. So Manya means something which is Manasya Arukaha Manya. Okay. So this Hridaya Pundarika is referred to as a Manya Pradesha. Okay. Very important space. Manye Manasa Pundarika Nagare Rajavatamse sthite. What do we understand from this? Here basically he is trying to say, so these are all poetic way of saying. See, when a good king is ruling over, then see, Subhiksha will be there everywhere. People will be happy everywhere. Dharma gets established everywhere. And Papa is not there. See? So, and people have Ananda. So all these things will be there. Okay. So Rajavatamse sthite yatha etat sarvam bhavati tadvat Kaivalyanathe Parameshware Hridaya Pundarike sthite etat sarvam bhavati. See? So that is the idea. See? So your jnana so will be suphalita. So this ananda, small pleasures that we have, can also be referred to as ananda. Okay. But these need not necessarily be in the long run. Okay. Necessarily be in the long run. So here when he says suphalita, this oshadhi, okay, not these vishayanandas that he is talking about, but Swaswarupa Ananda. See, that will start flowering. Okay. That creeper will start flowering. This Swaswarupa Ananda. If only you have this Parameshwara permanently lodged into your mind. Okay. Read. Dharmo me chaturangrikas sujaritah papam vinashangatam Kamakrodhamadadayo vigalitaha Kala sukha vishkritaha Jnanananda mahaushadhi suphalita Kaivalyanathe sada manye manasa pundari kanagare Rajavatamse sthite. Okay, we'll stop here. Om Sarve Sukhinas Santu Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavit. Om Shanti